Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary people. I'm back today, Thursday morning. I know I said last stream on Monday that I will try attempting a world building stream session for one of my tabletop RPG ideas, or whatever may come out of it, to be honest. I'm not completely sure it's gonna end up as a as a tabletop game. But I ended up hanging out with my friend yesterday, so I didn't go online and moved. Oh, excuse me. Something wrong with my throat. I coughing up a little bit. So yeah, I didn't go online yesterday because I was hanging out with my friend, and so I moved this stream to today, and next 2 days I think I will be just gaming, to be honest. I already have an idea what exactly I will be playing. I've got that game for free some time ago, and was kind of curious to try it. And tomorrow and next day, that's what I will be doing. Now, my coffee is ready. Today my kettle did not try to kill me. It turned off immediately after boiling up water. So... Get back on! You... Oh my god. So, let's hope that's a good sign. Now, I might have said before, maybe not, but for today's stream I have a couple ideas actually. Like, I think I did say that I do play one-on-ones with my friend, but we play a particular style of RPGs, right? And I keep getting ideas. That's my hobby. That's something is interesting to me. Although those ideas are not necessarily ones that do fit my and my friends' game style and thematic. So, but I want those ideas to become something, you know. And as such, I thought, why not do, like, make a draft out of it? At least have it on paper, you know, on paper. That's primarily gonna be a notepad. Although... how do I change the language of it so you can understand the interface? I mean, it's not like it's very important, but I feel like I think this is tied to the language of interface, which kind of sucks, but it's fine. But it's fine. Well, okay, whatever. I don't think the language of my interface is very important. I will be typing in English anyway. So, a couple ideas I have for today that I want to shape out into something. Does that sound hideous? Hope not. The system will be most likely custom, like I mean for rolling the dice. Although maybe I will adopt a D&D system. Like, fair warning, I have never done this before. All the games I play with my friend, we just adopt some system, get an idea. It's usually their idea, somewhat fleshed out by me, and I am a GM. They are way smarter than me, and they come up with the mechanics that they want to have in the game, with things and stuff, general idea, some details, and my job is to make it playable, to GM for them. I have a feeling they are an amazing GM, but somehow with me they prefer to be a player. I don't know what's the catch in there. Like, why would a better GM want to be a player for an inferior GM, which is me, which I am. But that's how they enjoy it, and I honestly I would love to experience them as a GM for me as well, for a change once. But no matter. Oh wait, I forgot to check something. I forgot to check the weather for later today, because I am planning to go out to buy some stuff for Monday, which will be a little bit of cooking. Tiny bit of cooking. What is going on today? Not too warm. Not too warm, but it's fine. I can handle it. What about the weekend? Okay. Weekend seems to be quite warm. There are thunderstorms on Wednesday and next Saturday. So that's cool. A lot of rain on Saturday. Well, okay, whatever. I'm also gonna pull up my notes from over here, so I can consult my earlier notes when devising this, whatever this is going to be. My light doesn't really work today, does it? It's worse this way anyway. So yeah, of course I'm gonna have my bread and coffee first before anything. I woke up. I wanted to say I woke up late today. I did not really. But I just ended up scrolling into my phone for way too long, and like, I did not really have time for a proper breakfast. But that's fine. I wanted to go live more or less on time, and I don't have a problem with eating later. I had some fried egg. I gonna have this. I have candy bars down there. I can make myself some instant noodles, for example. So we'll be all right. Oh, fuck! What is this? You know, some hair on my headphones, and I assume it's my hair because nobody else uses them. And my hair is getting fairly long in the back here. Oh! Sorry, I almost dropped my headphones. like my hair in the back is reaching the down of my neck right now, but I'm planning to grow it even longer and make it into a braid or a tail, or I'll be just switching styles most likely once in a while. So yeah, about today. So I have plenty of ideas, to be honest, but the most ready to be shaped out, in my opinion, are two. Most of the ideas, or maybe all of them, take form of post-apocalyptic world and adventures in them. Some have mechanics like zombies, some just mechanics. Well, there are some zombie resembling creatures, but not quite, not exactly the rotten walking corpses. I'm not sure I'm gonna be telling more because I feel like it's not gonna be the game we are shaping out today. And as I said, mind you, I've never done this before, so I don't really know what will have to be done. Like general lore, I assume, like how this world works and how it came to be. Maybe not. Uh, General lore. I think for at least one of them, maybe both, I'll have to come up with the classes for players. And for one of them, if I pick, I'm not sure which one I'm gonna be shaping out today. One of them is going to be what was I trying to say? Never mind me, brain no work. Jesus, seriously? Brain fart. Fuck. What is happening? So, classes for one of the games, maybe two, and then since one is inspired by a video game series, I will be maybe adapting abilities from that game for tabletops. And then, of course, coming up with abilities and stuff for the classes for the other ones. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. Like, start is going to be slow. I will be yapping about stuff. Sipping my coffee, eating my bread and butter. And the next part will probably be slow as well, because I've never done this before. It's a process. You have to think, you have to brainstorm, you have to Google, you have to consult things and stuff. So it's gonna be a piece of work. Okay, this is fine. This coffee. Now, before we decide which one to choose for world building today, I'll have to tell you that one of them. Which one do I disclose first, though? I'm not sure. Okay, I know it's going to be weird, but I'm interested in weird topics in history. And by the way, both games might end up being steampunky. Maybe not really. Let me just Google if that series that I was that I'm drawing inspiration from is steampunk technically. Okay. So technically, this that can be categorized as steampunk, even though, like, how do I describe this? How do you say this? Steampunk nowadays is not exactly not necessarily pure steam, right? It's like when you take Arcane, for example, right? It's very steampunky in its atmosphere, in its vibe, right? But the mechanics behind it are not steam, or not always at least. It's magic, arcane, right? And clockwork, maybe clockwork punk is potentially another very good example. So this one, it is like, yes, you get weird decks that click and clank and move around oddly, and that looks fucking awesome. But it is all powered not by Steam. That's for the second one, that inspired by a video game series. I keep wanting to say series because seria is how you say it in Ukrainian, and I'm Ukrainian. Okay, time for a reveal. No, not exactly. Well, kinda. So first game, first idea comes from a topic that historical precedent. I'm not sure if it's if it can be a precedent. It can be called a precedent. You get me. About a fairly unique profession from Victorian era London, which involved getting yourself quite nasty. Profession was called toshers, if I'm not butchering the title too much. They were venturing into the sewers, massive sewers of that day London, in search for mostly lost goods. Because people do lose stuff in the toilet all the time, like, and you could just drop something in the street and it would go through the drainage and be lost forever for you, if not for toshers. So and back then, like, if today you lost a button and dropped it into the toilet and washed it down, who cares about buttons, right? Nobody would go down there to retrieve your button and like sell it. Nobody would buy that. No one would buy a button of like even a bag of cheap plastic buttons. I don't think. Maybe I can kind of see an idea of like some clothes store, clothes repair store, even now buying a bag, let's say this big bag of plastic buttons for like $12 or something, maybe even less. I don't know, but that's not how you make a living. And like that's one-time operation. But back then, buttons were made of ivory. Buttons were made of wood. Buttons were made of fucking bonds, probably like shells, maybe some stones, metal. All that could be resold. So if you were a dosher back there, you went in there in the sewers, stinking as hell place, dangerous with all the gases and stuff. And you scrap around and find like coins, buttons, what they're called, buckles maybe. All kinds of heirlooms, right? And they could be sold. They could be sold to for, and like you could make a coin out of selling them to proper stores, and even you could even I don't know. Occasionally, you get a mid-class dude losing something into the sewers, and he would hire you to go and retrieve his precious what they are called, tobacco boxes. I don't know, with the family, what they are called, emblem. I'm not sure if that's the right word. So that's a good coin too. And if we go a little beyond that, beyond how real world really is, well, not exactly, but taking it a step farther, there are rats, right? And rats can be fucking dangerous creatures, especially if they grow large, especially if there are hordes of them. So why not imagine that your creatures, that your sewers can be infested not only with rats but all other kinds of nasty, dangerous creatures, and that is taking the job, already dangerous job with like what's in there, like smells, like you could fucking choke on the smells of shit in the sewers and never return. You would die in a pile of shit. You could get lost and die in a pile of shit. You could get stuck in a pile of shit and die in a pile of shit. And in this game, you're going to be able to there will be a possibility that player might get attacked by a monster and die in a pile of shit. Isn't that exciting? I feel like it's very exciting. It may be a little bit too specific of interest of mine, but I feel that like the general idea is good. It's not very shaped out. I have some drafts for classes and tools and abilities. I'm not sure I'm going to be, and monsters. I'm not sure I'm going to be shaping out an exact adventure today. I might leave it for when I play the game exactly. But I might be placing a seed of it in there. And then the second game. And I remind you again, I'm not sure which one I'm going to choose to build today. The second game is heavily inspired by Dishonored. That game, or series of games, is fucking amazing. It's this short of being my favorite game ever. And it's not just because there is too many good games to actually give a preference to one distinctively. Like there is Red Dead Redemption, there is Dishonored. I love Skyrim series. I am going to try even more games because I've been stalling that experience. So that game will probably be placed in territories not covered by official games yet. Like they are mentioned, but not exactly like games do not happen to be placed there, at least yet. Are they coming up with Dishonored 3 yet? I wonder. That would be awesome. I'm gonna Google that. So basically, no. There is no confirmation that they are working on it at all. Oh well. It's better that way than if they release something and with it, you know? Okay, my coffee is done. I'm happy about that. It was good. Time to actually start doing something instead of just yapping for how many? 30 minutes? So, out of those two games, And as I told you, I have more ideas. If this goes well and I manage to bring at least one of these to something I'm satisfied with, something that looks playable, I might move on to my other ideas, might start developing them. But for today, I'll have to decide which one to start developing first. And for that, I'm gonna pull the card. If the card is red, it's going to be Toshers. If the card is black, it's going to be a Dishonored inspired one. Ready? Pulling the one from the top of my deck. It's a Joker, but it's a red Joker. Okay. So red Joker, it is Toshers. I know you can't really see it already. It is very used. Very scratched card. But I assure you, there is no cheating. Sorry about that sound. We will be working on Toshers today. Let me just... actually, okay, so flashbang. Toshers RPG. Yeah, no. Tabletop RPG. Ah! RPG. Okay. So, if we are going for Toshers, where are my notes over here? Okay, what is this? That's a wrong game. That's post-apocalyptic one with the creatures. That's a wrong one. What about this one? No, no, no. Wrong one. That's a wrong one too. Where did I put it? This one is about Frontier. In something like a fantasy world. Maybe it's here after all. But higher up. Okay, here I'm discussing Dishonored a little bit. Okay, I think I found it. Yeah. Most likely that's the one. Yes. Maybe I should, instead of putting it all in one large sheet of text, maybe I should make tabs about it. Like, one tab is general lore, another one is like mini quests, another one is classes, abilities, and so on. Not sure about that. Okay. So, according to my research, there were two similar, I think, somewhat similar professions, figures. I'm not sure. Well, what Tosher was almost definitely a profession. There's another word which is mudlark, which is not exactly a profession but an occupation. You would just scavenge whatever you could around the rivers, right? Like Thames. How do you say it? Thames, I think. A lot of stuff like dropped boxes and things would be like lost from the ship or boat and washed ashore, and they would loot it. And you can find you could find like coals and sell it. People were heating their houses with coal, nails, ropes, like personal items and stuff. All that could be sold by scavengers for a small coin, and they would make a living out of it. Toshers, however, is a different kind of creature, right? They were specifically going into the sewers. Yeah. And they were looking for all the stuff that I have already. All the stuff that I have already covered. Like, you could drop coins, you could drop your ring, you could drop your fucking buckle. But how do you drop a buckle from your belt into the sewer? It says here that Tosher might also come across the bodies of dead animals. And yeah, you could like, people were making stuff out of animal bones all the time. So that could also be a very valuable loot. Well, moderately valuable loot, I would say, but still a valuable loot. A little coin is better than no coin. Flutes. Methane. Methane can explode. That's right. You not only are endangered by a smell of the sewers, but also an explosion of methane. And rats. Okay, so... Oh wait, you can't see shit. Because my camera is covered. Maybe now you can see a little more. Alright. So, Tosher's tabletop RPG. And first idea I have in mind is that you don't just like, let's say, D&D campaign. You just go out in there, and GM probably has a map or has idea of a map of the world, or at least close up area, and you just do your stuff. You ask GM where to go, where do I go to do this, where do I go to do that, is there a village around, is there a tavern around, or something like that, can I travel to another city, and so on. In this one, sewers are unexplored. Players do not know at the beginning the layout of the sewers and which path leads where. So that means that we need a mechanic for mapping. Okay. We will expand upon that later, because as of now, that's all I kind of got about this topic. How do I make it work? So there could either be a class, like specifically a mapper class, that their job would literally be mapping, but no, that's wouldn't work. Let's say if you only have one player, like if you play one-on-one, then that player has to choose the class of mapper, or they are not getting maps. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe there are more tools. You can be a mapper and can have something else. Okay. Okay, I like that idea. Means of mapping. 1. A mapper class. If anyone in a group of players chooses a mapper class, I don't want this class to be a sort of skeleton key for mapping, but that must make this thing easier. I don't want to say they know somehow a layout of the area, but what can I make them do? Excuse me. I keep burping. Oh. Okay, maybe simply they get a mapping tools and supplies by default, and their maps are of higher quality. And that implies that mapping tools can be used by other players, but maps are not as good. How? What may be a distinct difference between a map made by a professional and a map made by another kind of professional. That actually requires, in my opinion, the world to be somewhat treacherous. Something that no mappers cannot notice should be there. And what could that be? It's either danger or rewards. Like mapper, or both. Like mapper may be noticing maybe some cracks in the walls that regular person wouldn't. I'm thinking about wrong things. I'm thinking about going hard today. No. That's not what I'm supposed to be thinking of. Basically, at the very beginning. Hello, Fatman Fattingson. Do you want me to give you a sum up of the idea? Okay, so basically, idea I have is based around London sewers of Victorian era, and a profession called toshers. They were venturing in there and retrieving and selling stuff people dropped. I want to expand this idea, so to make it like dangerous, much more dangerous than it was in real life. I want to add monsters. I want them to go there for a purpose, and of course I want them to be able to loot. As of now, first idea I'm developing: sewers are unexplored. Players do not know at the beginning the layout of the sewers and which path leads where. Means of mapping. First one, a mapper class. If anyone in the group of players chooses a mapper class, they get a mapping tool and supplies by default. And their maps are of higher quality, and that's I'm a little bit stuck. How? What is so distinct in maps made by a mapper comparing to the maps made by a regular person, that that this needs a specific class of mapper. What do they notice that the regular person doesn't? So it can be either a danger, like a crack a regular person does not notice, mapper does, where dangerous gas comes from, or monsters or something, or a reward, like, I don't know, expensive mushrooms grow, like hints on the on how to trail a growth of expensive mushroom, for example. Maybe it's both of those, but I'm unsure as to exact mechanic. Larger map, meaning like the one that covers more area, rather than have multiple smaller maps for the same purpose. That's not a bad idea, actually. That's not a bad idea. Like, you get one map. Yes, it's larger, but you expand it and you see everything, rather than. But then, okay, I like that idea. Okay. Bigger maps that cover more land, while regular players, while no mappers can only make smaller maps. Okay, that is good. All right. And then I need them a reason to like in-game mechanic to be forced to switch the maps. Maybe not. It's already there, actually. I just say you cannot cover that area with the map you currently have. You have to take another one. But that there should be a penalty for that, meaning like you venture into the area that you don't have a map for, your small one, right? There should be something. I should put there something that benefits, that gives them benefit for having a map, and something that Oh, that is actually very good, but let's make it a role. Mappers can make a role to precisely figure out their current location. and no mappers cannot make, or that too cruel to make anyone else not able to make that roll. Also, by the way, I have not yet figured out a dice system for that. It's probably gonna be a D&D like system anyway, or COC as a simpler one. I also tried the Savage Worlds system, but that one is atrocious. No, that one is a nightmare. Where are my dices though? Yeah. That's a great idea. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so if we go with this like D&D, where's my D20? And for maybe both of them can make a roll, but for no mapper class, the DC is higher, and DC has to be static, like it does not change. Because I don't see why would it change. Difficulty of the layout, I don't think it justifies the change DC. Maybe if they don't have a light, the DC can be increased. No, that's stupid, because if you don't have a light, you cannot check a map anyway. So no. Okay, so if we say I am gonna do this. Mappers. A DC for the roll for a mapper is always 10. Or not 10. Let's say it's D20. Roll. And you get 4. 7. 8. I'm unlucky today. 16. Maybe not 10. Maybe not like that. Imagine mapper fails to pinpoint where they are. Actually, it's not that difficult. If you are stressed, if you are in the dark sewers with only a lamp, there were a monster attacked recently, or you heard something, maybe you just stepped on slippery brick and almost drowned in a pile of shit. I can see a person being so stressed that they don't pay much attention to what's they are called, the surroundings, to figure out where you are. Okay. This is fine. But then what is a DC for a regular player? That should be probably a skill. that can decrease the DC, or something else, some kind of bonus. Maybe if I make like, if it's a map made by them, then the DC is lower because they made a map. They were here. They know what they drew on it and stuff. They remember landmarks. But if the map is bought or found, then maybe DC is higher. Does this even make sense? I mean, what really is the point of map if you cannot, if you need a roll to figure out your location? Just to see where stuff are? Something feels off with this. If it's COC, let's say there is a skill threshold, like in COC, and if you roll below it, you make it. Above, you don't. And mappers have a higher skill in mapping. Okay, this in my opinion works a little bit better. Let's say mapping skill of mappers is at least 80 by default. 83. Damn, I'm so lucky with my rolls today. Okay. I think it's not gonna be a D&D system. Mappers. Do you play much tabletops, Mr. Fatman? By the way, how do you prefer I call you Fatman or Fattingson? It's either way, it's a little bit rude, so I feel a little bit bad. Mappers have mapping skill of at least 80 by default. Bill? I'll try to remember, Bill. I'm a little bit bad at remembering names, but I'll try to. By default. my god, what is this typing? All the typos all around. I would like to play more tabletops, to be honest. But I only know so many people to play with. And I guess I could play online, but I don't know, something feels wrong about it. So, this passage here means there is a mapping skill. Not for the future. There is a mapping skill. Okay. I'm gonna change this passage. A little bit. By default, allowing them to easier make a roll to pinpoint their current location. Okay, I like this part. Let's take a look at my earlier notes again. Hired to map the old forgotten parts. No, that's idea for the quest. Miasma. That's also idea for the quest. Okay, some loot. So, as you know, back in that age, every material was rather expensive. If in today's days nobody would go into sewers for a lost plastic button. Back in the day, they were made of metal, bones, ivory, glass, ceramic, and stuff, and they were rather valuable, even if like used material. They were worth selling. People even dropped jewels in there. I'm thinking, should I now try shaping out general lore of the idea, or focus on classes? I think that there should be at least like 5 distinct classes. Or like, for example, if you get 5 players, right? They don't just have, maybe even more than 5, but that seems hard. They don't just have same 2 repetitive classes. No, that is for later. What else I have in my notes? I'll find a handful. No, not interesting. A system for loot. No, that's for later. This reminds me a little bit of a mechanic. Yeah, that is not a bad idea, to be honest. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just read through my notes a little bit. This I wrote a little bit of the loot system, like finding coins and items to sell. And this looks to me like a little bit like I'm not sure I want to approach it that way, but I'm also not sure I have any other ideas. It looks to me like one of those games that where you like enter the dungeon, for example. You fight monsters like mechanics and animations and all that, and then you return, and there and the window pops up, text window that says you found like 7 gold, 8 gems, and a sword or something like that. Would you say this is a good idea, or make it more like interactive, sort of like you have to loot a maybe like you venture into the place, find a chamber, and you like scan it with your eyes, like look around, you find a hole, you find a lockbox, and you have to actually go and loot it and get and that make a roll for whatever you find, or you just make a roll, get a pop-up window, and share a loot among yourselves. What would you say would be better or more interesting? What else do I get here? Okay, idea for the next class, to be honest. What to call them? What to call them? I did not finish the means of mapping. Mapping tools. Tools can be used by anyone but their skill is lower, and thus they only make smaller maps. Class 2. How do you call someone who goes to like dealers and stuff and negotiates with them for a better price? Someone who knows places where to sell stuff. But do we even need merchant? Not exactly. Not exactly, I don't think. Trader, merchant trader. Like, that person doesn't necessarily possess of the goods. They are just sent by a group to go to like actual merchant, someone who buys found stuff like a jeweler or some sort, and like I want to make them able to negotiate better prices, and without them the group would make less profit. But I don't have a word for such a person. Agent, manager, not really, no. I feel like there is a word that captures the phenomena, what you are saying, but is much more snappier and sharper, and I cannot think of it. Something that would feel that would fit the vibe so much. Maybe dealer. But does it make sense to have a dealer as a class? Like for them to actually go into the sewers themselves? I guess because they could like evaluate the items found right away. Maybe this shouldn't be a skill, but rather maybe this shouldn't be a class, but rather a skill. Let me Google something. Okay, so there are two words that I think, well, maybe actually one, maybe broker. Yeah, broker feels better because broker is someone who, okay, fans would fit, but yeah, fans is someone who deals in like stolen goods, right? These are not necessarily illegal. Like there might be people who are unhappy that their lost stuff have been found by someone and lost and sold to other people rather than returned to them. But that does not make this activity illegal. Fans kind of implies that the sale was not permitted. So I think I'm gonna name them Hawker is. Hawker is an interesting word, but I think, well, English is not my first language, so I was not familiar with this word, and I would not know what it means if I just got into the thing. So I think I'm gonna name them a broker because broker is someone who not only like sells stuff, right? They understand market, they understand trends, they know where to sell stuff. Yeah, I get that, but you see, you know that word, and I assume you are a native English speaker. So, so that is that the fact that is an old one does not really prevent people from knowing it, but the fact of being a native or not native speaker, I think more of the factor. Okay, so broker. A person that ventures into the sewers and is able to, no, they I don't have to mention that they venture into the sewers. They venture in there by default. Able to correctly evaluate price of the found goods fair enough, fair enough. I didn't think of that. Thank you, by the way, for going an extra mile and looking it up for me, basically. They know the market, selling points, and are able to negotiate with traders, and as such their negotiation skill is 80 by default again, or should I make it lower? If I set a specific level of skill for like high one for every specific class, like mapping for mappers, negotiation for brokers. Does that mean that a regular player? What do I actually mean by a regular player? There should be classes, meaning everyone in the group, like every class, aces at that at least one specific skill, and everyone is kind of sucks at it. Everyone else. So maybe I should actually start not with classes but a number of skills. But that is alone thinking. Like I think I can start with classes, see what classes there should be, and use these classes as starting point for the list of skills. Like if I make a fighter class or a brawler, whatever to call it, that means there should be a brawling skill, and so on. But if you just try to make a list of skills on a clean sheet of paper, that might be a little harder. Okay, but negotiation skill for a broker. I don't think it needs to be as high as 80. Maybe there should be actually a system of start learning English. I cannot, like, do you ask because it is so bad? I cannot say that I actually learned it or started to learn it at any point of my life. I just started to consume English speaking content like video games, videos, music, and so on. And I started role playing in English, so I have much more practice in texting in English rather than actually speaking. And if we go to where it has started or when it has started, it was like 2014 for sure, but likely somewhat earlier, like 2012 maybe. I probably sound like the fucking, I don't know, 6 years old with how I speak. Well, maybe actually not. Maybe it's just stuttering that caused by a lag of trying to think of stuff in English. I appreciate it, honestly. I appreciate it. I was just earlier saying, explaining that I stutter a little bit when saying serious, for example, like video game serious, because in Ukrainian, and I'm Ukrainian, it goes seria, serious. So my tongue and brain actually try to make me say serious in English too. So yeah, there is there is a brain lag when you try to speak another language with as little practice as I have. Okay, I think I'll make their negotiation skill 65 by default. And let's say the only ones. I would imagine like Netherlands, Belgium, and other Scandinavian countries like Sweden, Norway, Denmark. At least from the sound of that, they don't speak they don't speak it bad. Maybe it's actually all practice and stuff. I do hope that the more I speak English, the better I become. Although I cannot hear my own accent that I would like to basically mitigate to sound less standing out, or how to say it. Okay, fair enough. I cannot tell I ever heard Finns speak English, but I did hear Netherlands people and Denmark people speak English, and to my foreigner ear, they do not sound bad. Okay, something atrocious is happening with my light. Let me try closing the blinds and see if it's going to be better. I don't know. Is it better, or should we go back? Okay, perfect. Then the blinds stay down. Okay. There. Wrong is to negotiate better prices for the fund good. So, okay, and obviously there needs to be a fighter. Fighter. But then, should I distinct between like armed and unarmed? And since it's actually, let me Google Victorian era, is flintlock or not? Not exactly a flintlock. Aha. Okay, no, it's not flintlock. Oh. Bruiser. Yeah, I love that. Bruiser. But then, should we make it like obviously their specifics is fight, but should we make different classes for unarmed, armed, like melee, melee? How do you say it? Well, basically swords and knives, and firearms. Or maybe these should be like universal skills. Every class has some points in there for fighting, because every one of them has to fight, and as such, Bruiser has to be something specific, something that stands out in how they bruise. Melee. How melee became melee? There's no ace. What is happening? Melee. Maybe Bruiser should be is a French word, okay? Okay. Maybe Bruiser should be more proficient in all three, like unarmed, melee, and firearms. That's a good starting point. Proficient in all three fighting skills. Maybe I should make it 4 for thrown weapons as well. Maybe not. Maybe I should reserve thrown weapons for something like a rogue. Bruiser would be unarmed because it's a nickname for a boxer. Okay, fair. Fair. But then But then, would you want to go in onto the adventure unarmed, even though you are highly skilled at martial arts or boxing, how to say that? And if you were in a group, would you want an unarmed person, even like big, tough, and good at fist fighting, be around you in terms of, does it make them more vulnerable that they are low intelligence but high strength? Okay, but that implies that implies other fighting classes immediately after that, like fucking melee guy, firearms guy, and a rogue maybe. And if we make like 3-4 fighting classes, then it means we need more utility classes. Probably, to balance that out. Okay. Deadeye is a good name. Bruiser, a class highly skilled in... Oh my fucking god, all the typos. In an unarmed fight. Obviously, this is not exactly a not exactly our build classes, so they need more tinkering to flesh them out more, give them more specific skills and features that will require its own brainstorming. But this is draft for them, which is for now good enough. Class for Deadeye. Highly skilled at firearms. And since it's sewers, long range can be possible that, but this is generally a dark environment, I assume. Your lights only light up so much the area closest to you, right? And what I'm getting at is you can't really bring like long range rifles in there, because even if you end up in a tunnel that hundreds of meters long, right, and you know something is on the other end of it, it's dark, you can't really... Well, maybe if we put in there something like potions for night vision or something of the sort. but that would require specific, what it's called, when you tinker with your tools and equipment for every specific adventure. Yes, but these are not exactly average civilians. Like, I understand that Toshers were not exactly high class, so to say, people, but we are making them here different. They will not just be looting freaking buttons from the pile of shit. They will be doing dangerous and exciting stuff in there, in that nasty environment. So they potentially could decide, okay, we are potentially going to meet monsters that are very dangerous up close. Why not to bring a long range rifle and a couple of night vision potions? I like this idea. Non-military, okay. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. What if a dead eye is specifically a long range firearm proficiency? No, you're doing a good job, and it's a what's the word? Fucking it's shared effort, you know. Like if I was doing this only for myself, I could do it offline. If so, but if I can provide engagement, I'm happy with that. So feel free to shoot any ideas and say, nah, this is a complete garbage. It doesn't work like that. So I think Deadeye, well, firstly, a Deadeye actually implies sharpshooter, right? And that, at least in my head, implies like, okay, you can be a very good shooter, hit precisely with a handgun, right? Or revolver. But that implies something like a sniper. And sniper implies rifle, long range rifle. So maybe Deadeye is actually at long range firearms. Yeah, but do you even get these ranges in a sewers? That's what I'm thinking. Let me actually Google that. Did you have did London sewers have tunnels up to 1,000 meters long in a straight line from no, not from, in Okay, yeah, you could have that. Alright. Alright, this seems legit. Okay, I am putting in that specifics you suggested. 100-meter target with a pistol and target with a rifle. Okay, I like that. That is not a bad draft. Speaking of speaking English, right? The word suggested, or I don't know, something I wanted to talk about with a native speaker. My whole life I thought it is suggested, right? But recently I start hearing it pronounced more like suggested. What is going on? If you could please enlighten me, Mr. Fattingson? Because I was mighty confused about that when I heard that version a few months ago. Like, I'm not sure if if I just started hearing it correctly and just never heard that the right way, or I'm confused. In the meanwhile, though, I think okay, then I'm not crazy. That's good to know. I'm happy to know that, actually. That's a relief. But the fact that I heard it several times in several different medias over the course of a couple months, like what? Okay, what I'm thinking is that we are not gonna make specific classes focused on melee and short-range firearms, because every single class has to be armed with something, right? And in my mind, it doesn't really make sense to make one of them stand out with sometimes American can blend words together and it sounds really weird to a non-native speaker. Like, would you might say it like would chew or would you? Chew, Jew, chew. Well, I hear chew. I don't hear Jew. Oh, oh, my dices. I should stop fiddling with them. 98. What a loss. Chew, 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 chew. J, ch, ch, chew, jew, 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 chew, jew. I don't know. In Ukrainian, chew, like sounds you, chew, and ju, woo, like they too distinct from one another. I cannot really hear them blending that much. But maybe. Like you are natively programmed in here to pronounce these two sounds distinctively. I don't know. Or maybe I should. No, I don't think. Making. Well, maybe rogue. Class 5 rogue. I'm still learning Japanese, so that's just more sounds I can pick up on. Yeah. Is it hard? How's it going for you? It's one of the languages I myself would like to learn, but I've never really got myself to start doing it. It's very difficult. That's what I imagine. Is it as what it's called, tonal, as or phonetical? I think it's called tonal as Chinese, because in Chinese, meaning of the word can change from how you from the tone you pronounce it with, phonetic. Is it the same thing with Japanese? Yeah, and that's mighty hard for a Westerner, right? Because, well, I don't know if Ukraine can be considered Westerners much, but I kind of feel like we align with them more than with Eastern people, and it's hard for me. Like same things that hard for Westerners are basically hard for me as Ukrainian as well. Language, linguistically speaking. Okay, rogue. So rogue is potentially OP. What's this? What? Oh. Steam just took money off my card for a subscription. It's fine. I planned to renew it anyway, but I thought it's a little early for that. It's alright. The difficult part for you might be that learning Japanese you would be learning from an English perspective, because I doubt there is much Ukrainian. I think there is, to be honest. Like, Japanese is quite prominent language, right? About as prominent as English, Chinese, French, Spanish, I don't know, German, and all the big languages, all the big languages, there is always a lot of material to translate them to smaller languages. So like it's not like how to say it. It's not like Japanese is some kind of rarely used languages or very local language that only English-speaking people first learned and then passed the knowledge over to everyone around. So I feel like it wouldn't be as difficult as one might think. Interesting. Interesting. And they are much closer to Japan than Ukraine. Well, honestly, I don't really mind that. I think I would be alright. I can read English fine. I don't really have struggle with that, unless it's Lovecraft, who, as you probably know, uses rather archaic version of English. Less than 4 million Japanese speakers who aren't Japanese. Interesting statistics. So everyone just gives up. Everyone but those 4 millions just give up midway or early stages. It kind of makes me want to try and actually learn it properly, whether through English or not. That's fun. Okay, so Rogue is potentially OP because I want them to be stealthy. Less than 1 million. Who are the rest 3 million? I wonder. Like other Asian nations? Where do you get these statistics even? I want them to be stealthy. I want them Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, Philippines. Okay, but how come Myanmar and Cambodia, I'm not sure how to pronounce that country, have so much struggle with learning Japanese, while Vietnam and Philippines don't? Or they too learned English first? Exceptionally have a standing out skill in melee. Yeah, fair enough. And thrown weapons. But how? I guess all these notes right now do suggest different skills for unarmed, firearms, melee, and thrown weapons. And there should be a cap for, like, if you are not a deadeye, and you learn to use and you improve your skills in firearms, you cannot become a deadeye yourself just by like keeping improving it. because that eliminates a purpose of a dedicated class. And as such, there should be a cap for other classes. Like, not a bruiser cannot improve unarmed fight beyond let's say 80. I'm not sure I understand. 75 of Deadeye's base stats makes sense, but allow Deadeye improve 50%. 50% of what? Oh. Okay, I like the idea, but it cannot be improved just by practicing. It must be something very special. But what? And if it's COC, boss skills, good idea. If it's COC, you have a chance of improving your skills with a role if you used the skill this session, right? So the growth is like fairly easy and natural, but not in your specific skill, specific class skill. I like that. Hello, Hoyle. Hoyle Lep. Sorry, I probably butchered your name a lot. I am just getting into my another Hoy. Okay, just getting into my another hobby, which is tabletop games. I'm trying to flesh out a game, a game idea into a playable, something playable. Good night, Fatman Fattington. It was nice having you in chat again. Have a good sleep. Get it wrong. 90% of people get it wrong. Well, yeah, there are some names that I find hard to pronounce. So, basic quick catch up on what is going on. I'm shaping out an idea of RPG. I don't know, adventure or a custom made game with custom mechanics. I'm not exactly sure what is going to happen with it yet. It's set in Victorian age London around the profession of toshers. If you're unfamiliar with that, they were people finding lost goods in London sewers, and I'm trying to make it into a playable game with adventures, monsters, classes, and stuff. And that is what is happening. Okay, so what Mr. Fattingson said here? I need to pull up this chat. Okay, so you can only improve your non-class specific skill up to 75. Basis for this system will be COC, I think. Class specific skills can be improved by their respective classes up to 100 and up to 150 after winning a boss fight. So people who fight themselves through sewers. Let me think a bit for lore. Yeah, feel free to. Okay, but the rogue is coming out OP. They clearly have maybe if I just limit them to be very proficient in stealth, then it will be alright. And thrown weapons, maybe they are available for everybody else, but because of stealth, rogues have a bonus for the roll. But how the bonus would work? Maybe it's something like in D&D that where you like in D&D with hide, or when you are a fight what it's called, barbarian. When you go in frenzy, you get a bonus. If I'm not mistaken, something. Bad waters in the sewers, Victorian on. Did London even have a cardinal? Were they Catholic? Let me check. Okay, actually, yes. But that's more towards the specific adventure. For now, I am like generally shaping out the classes, the mechanics, and the world. Not yet making the adventure. No, it's not a bad idea at all. I have not played the Darkest Dungeon though. I've been recommended it. My friend, whom I play tabletops with, played it and liked it, and sort of recommended it. That's a good idea. Victorian Doctor. I did not really think of them as a doctor, but I thought of someone that would be making like night vision potions for a group and that kind of thing. I do not think calling them an alchemist would be a good idea, because it's more of a high fantasy than Victorian era, right? So, but doctor sounds a little like a little too generic. I need to think of another word. But before that, I need to finish with the rogue, because I don't yet know how to make it work. Like them being stealthy and like them basically being proficient in two skills rather than one makes them slightly more OP than other classes. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Monster expert. And it's actually a good name for a class. But it's a little narrow. Maybe not. Scholar, yeah. I think I like monster expert better. It's a little narrow. It doesn't really cover the potion making in its title, but I don't see it as a big problem. Okay, I will add them right now. Class 6. Monster expert. But we'll put on details later. Now, alchemist is like much more fantasy than I intended this to be, and overall a little overused word for the profession. But monster expert is good. About the rogue, though, I know. What about a healer though? I think I should add a specific doctor, not just a monster expert. Or maybe monster expert could make all kinds of potions. Like, because I do not think that should be a magic available for players in a form of spells, like it usually is. Like, there will be magical attacks, but from monsters. Maybe not. I'm not sure yet, but I don't want wants of others, meaning like companions or monsters. Also, is this from Darkest Dungeon as well? No, I wouldn't like this to be very much religion based. Damn, I'm getting distracted from the rock problem. There are not those whatsoever. Okay, so stealth. They get stealth. And they must benefit from it, not just by sneaking around, although... No, maybe they are not OP. But maybe I should take melee away as a proficient, as the skill they are proficient in. Or maybe not. Let's make it small. Highly skilled in small melee weapons. Meaning they can sneak up onto the enemy and use a dagger. But not like a large freaking two-handed axe. Or they might be able to use their thrown weapons for the purpose. But what? Okay, and stealth applies how would the bonus work? So let's say their regular skill is 80. No, too much. Their default skill is in these two is Okay. Default stats. Stealth 80. That is as given. But then small melee. I'm not sure if I should give the classes the fixed starting point with skills, or should make it something like when you make your character, you apply like skill points where you would prefer them to. So if say I use the skill points system and someone builds a rogue and they make small melee weapon skill only say 45%. But then if they attack from the stealth position with it, okay, what if like this? Small melee in stealth automatically $80 or 100 if it is already 80. Small melee and thrown weapons. Maybe I should say silent weapons. Like a crossbow. It's not exactly thrown, but it can be stealthy. And something like a sound suppressor could be invented for that air guns too. That would work, that would be fun, to me at least. Okay, I think this works. Monster expert. That's an excellent idea. So, first of all, they know monsters. Meaning their strong sides and vulnerabilities. As well as which parts of the monster are useful or valuable. And this implies they know how to like process monster's body, right? So this is good too. But do I make them a healer and potion producer? Is this an alright idea? Let me check something out. Excuse me. Okay, if I spread this out to two more different classes, like make one create specifically healing potions and one make other kinds of potions, this is too specific, too spread out in my opinion. Like we basically have two more classes with a very narrow purpose for the group, and I'm not sure I want that. So I think I will be putting these duties onto the monster expert. Makes healing and other kinds of potion. For the group. No, not like that. Is able to make healing and other kinds of potions for the group from monster parts and other ingredients. And then a crazy idea. A cleric that would be able to maybe detect, protect, identify magic, because magic will be present in the game, but not for players. But you could meet a hag that is using magic at you. So cleric may potentially be able to dispel. And then even craziest idea. Uh, even craziest idea. A class that is able to use magic. Okay, exorcist is not a bad idea as well, but exorcist is very specific. They are against demons. I'm not sure if I want to make them be able to counter magic from hags and witches. Maybe it's two classes again. Not sure about that. Can cleric be an exorcist? Maybe just call them magic expert? No, like, I mean, demonic and witch magic are rather different. Like, witch uses curses and spells, right? And demons are like, they can manifest, they can attack you directly, but they also possess people. Or not people, creatures and stuff. And that's different. Well, but we don't have to make them exactly the way they are made in other RPGs by law. We don't have to implement the same law. Exorcists need to be clerical. Like, no, you can just ignore that and say they are cool like that and all that, and just able to what it's called, banish that demons. And I don't think we need paladins, inquisitors. That's no. Let's call them just magic expert. Or maybe not, I don't know. Also, would we need an artificer? Damn, this is getting much more complex than I thought it would be. Charlatan. Nah, that's rude. Illuminati. What is this? Go away. Viber messages. Come on. I probably should take care of it and make it not pop up while I stream, but whatever, it's nothing all that important. I need a candy bar. I hear chocolate makes you think better. A picnic. I'm not sure if these ones are good. Oh, come on! How many there is going to be? Just make it one message. Jesus fucking Christ. Does it piss you off when a person... are you serious? Does it piss you off when a person, instead of making a one decent message, sends like 20,000 with only one word in it? For some reason I'm very annoyed when that happens. Ooh! What a weird shape of it. But it's not bad. I like it. Okay. Okay. If I make a magic expert that is able to be an exorcist and is able to deal with hags and witches and and things like that, that is too much of a universal soldier in the magic field. I think I do need two different classes, and one of them I'm going to call a demonologist, or however you pronounce that. High demonology skill. Oh, come on. Able to banish demons, either manifested, like material ones, or possessing individuals, animals. I don't think I want a demon to be possessing objects in this game, like inanimate objects. Maybe? No, probably not. Would a skeleton possessed by a demon and raised up to fight players be considered an inanimate object? I wouldn't say so. There will be no tight ties to the church. Therefore, there will not be a cleric. There will be a class that is able to counter witches, but they will not be called a cleric. What they will be called? It's a good candy bar. I like that one. It's all over my teeth though. So that's not a very pleasant one. What was that? Give me a moment. Oh, never mind. I don't have water in my room. Should I go get one? Some. Yeah, it's fine. What to call that class? Magic expert sounds weird. Like, I would think if someone is a magic expert, they know about demonology too. And we already made it a distinct class, so not really. We don't want to make it a cleric because we don't want a tie to the church. I don't like that. Gypsy? A gypsy. Interesting idea, something to consider. A mystic, perhaps. A mystic. Who is a mystic? A mystic is an individual who seeks a direct personal and experimental union with the divine, ultimate reality, or the cosmos. Okay, not really. Unlike traditional religious practitioners who may rely on intermediaries, mystics cultivate inner practices like meditation or contemplation to achieve an immediate intuitive awareness of sacred mysteries. Um, deep intuition, universal tolerance. Okay, maybe mystic is not quite that, but a nun, a saint. No. Still too tied to the church. Okay, I will go to the bathroom and bring myself water and be right back. And maybe in the meanwhile, I will think of something. And I'm back. Sorry it took longer than I expected it to. Took me a little more time than I anticipated. Okay, but I'm gonna be honest, I did not think of any idea for name idea for this class. I still think Mystic is rather a good one, but maybe not. Maybe I should Google a little more. On the matter. Okay, how to... Let's say a rare word for a magician. No, 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 no. A magus, but then no, it suggests a higher tie with magic, right? But I want magic to be largely unavailable for players. Accept protection from the witches. Maybe enchanter? Tainted? Explain it, please. It feels like I heard this term somewhere. What is inspiring this idea for you? Who is an enchanter? Who uses magic spells or charms to influence people or objects? Source. No. They were cursed. Tainted with magic. They were cursed and survived. Oh, I thought... Oh, okay. Because there is some game that suggests a term tainted for something, but I don't remember which game and what the tainted do. This I don't remember specifics, but from memory, it was something related to magic. That doesn't matter. Ah, fuck! I did not expect this to give me so much struggle. Okay, so it's not a mystic, it's not an enchanter. It can't be... What do they have here? Expiator is technically the act of making amends or cleansing a guilt stain. An expiator would be someone who views magic as a stain. No. A nullifier. No. Unweaver. Purge Doctor. Maybe it can be enchanter. Maybe they can work with like amulets and charms and stuff, like making them from scratch on the field. But that implies them dabbing in magic, in like actual magic, which means it is available for them. Oh, fuck. Fundamentalist. What's a fundamentalist? A person who strictly adheres a traditional literal Okay, I think okay, thank you for your participation. Some of the ideas were very good, actually. Like the monster expert, an exorcist too. Have fun yourself too. I think I'm making this into... I think I'm going with an enchanter. But I'm going to specify that offensive magic is not available for them. charms, amulets. Charms and amulets. No. Charms, amulets, and sacred or clean signs. It's not exactly they possess, because it is not available to players, but they just know stuff, how fundamentals, by the way, work, like what combination of what protects from what, and stuff like that. Materials, shapes, and so on. Can this be called an enchanter? Maybe it's not a right term. I'm gonna Google more. Maybe something along the lines of like scriber. What's scribe? Right. Sigilist. I like that one. Sigilist. That's what I'm naming it. Okay, that is good. That is good. In my opinion. Now, do we need more utility classes? I feel like so. Maybe we need an artificer and a summoner. No, we don't need a summoner because that dabs much into magic. So, what this system suggests is that you don't necessarily no, you absolutely not possess magic powers as an individual, right? But there is magic knowledge, and basically anyone can learn about it, learn how banishing demons works, or how protective charms work. However, this knowledge is not widely available. It is sort of gatekept by something or someone. Church? I feel like they would do that. I feel like it's absolutely their style. I feel like you actually can found multiple sources of knowledge on this. And there is no like magic that would like make you be able to, I don't know, go through walls or something like that. Or not even offensive spells. Most likely, most magic wouldn't even work. Like, for example, a chant to banish a demon would not do anything at all if there is no demon. And an amulet made out of I don't know, brass and engraved with things would be just a metal plate doing nothing if there is no threat it specifically protects from, and there would be no universal protections. I need to note that no universal protections. Items that protect from anything, from everything. Okay. What about I'm not even sure we need this artificer. Let me think whether we need it or not. Spelled it wrong. Why would they want to remove this? Do they know? They don't know the word. Okay. Artificer. So, an individual who would make things no, I don't think we need an artificer, although wouldn't that be cool to like for one person in the group to be able to make new cool steampunky clockworky things for the group or just themselves? I feel like from one standpoint it kind of would be cool, but on the other hand it might be a little too complex in terms of like maybe not. Like you go into the sewers and you find scrap, mechanical scrap to build from. Maybe it's not exactly artificer. What kind of things would they make? Okay, I feel like it doesn't really have to be anything like robotic animals, because that would be oh, maybe if player wanted to do that, I don't really have nothing against it. Oh wait. Okay, sorry, I got distracted for a minute. A friend texted me. So, the main idea, they would not be making robots, right? But they will be making tools to make expeditions easier, like improved, maybe not maybe weapons, like improved weapons, some tools like improved light, improved anything. And that would kind of make them pretty similar to a mapper and a broker, as not necessarily combat focused class, right? I feel like it's good enough. I feel like it deserves its place in the list. To make unique improvements of tools and weapons, as well as make new things. And this kind of calls for a system where they find components they need in the sewers. And maybe not in the sewers, like outside of the quest, player can say, oh well, while we are out, I'm like going around the market looking for some things, and I like make them roll for the artificer skill, and let's say their skill is 80 because that's what I'm going to for every specified class skill as a standard, or most at least. So they're all 55 and they find some good shit, but not too many. 55 is still a fairly high roll. So like they find 2 items they can implement into a new thing they make. I feel like this is a cool idea. And maybe generally for the loot, if the group doesn't have a broker, maybe generally for the loot, I make them roll as a team effort, right? But how do I determine a threshold for what they need to roll? DC, basically. Like, let's say I say roll, let's say there's 4 of them, and I say let's roll for collective broker skills, and they don't have a broker. How do I make it work? So with the COC system, the lower you roll, the better, because for example, you have a skill of 50. If you roll like 34, you succeed. If you roll higher than 50, you fail. So if this is a collective skill roll, right? And they have all different level of their respective skill. They all roll. They get different numbers. They get different. They get either success or failure. Failure. How do I derive the average? Simple, just by the number of successes and failures. Like say it's 4 of them, 69, interesting number, 30, 12, and 92. So it's 2, and then how do I make it work if it's a tie? I make no. Okay, what did I get? 69, 92, 12, and 30. Overall, it's 150, 161, 73, 183. No, 200, 203, right? 203. I divide it by 4 and I get exactly 50. Well, not exactly, there's some 0.3 or something like that. Damn. Does it have to be an average of... Okay, for... okay. So if we take an average skill of 4 players, like in this example, they all have 50, obviously, so average is 50. Okay, this needs some testing. Let's say there's 4 players and they need some kind of loot. They have different kinds of the different levels of the skill. Let's say player 1 has 50. Player 2 has 70. Player 3 has 40. And player 4 has 65. It makes an average of what is it? Mm. 55 something. $56. And then they roll. Player 1 65, so that's a failure. Player 2 68, barely a success, but a success nevertheless. Player 3 13 6, so that's a success. And player 4 12. Well, in that case, it's 3 out of 4. And that overrules the average, in my opinion. So they get a good loot. Not sure if that's how I want this to work. Also, 9 classes for now is quite good, right? There's no way I am going to have a group of more than 5 people. Okay, I'm reaching a point of brain dead. List. I don't even know what I'm thinking about right now. Okay, a few rare rolls. I need numbers and I need them to be a tie. 65, 53, 10, 59. 3 out of 4 again. More rolls. 47. 122. And I need this below 65. Okay. 47 and 41 are successes, so that's 88. And then I got individual 88 and 92, so that's 180 and 88. 268. That's what I get. And I divide it by 4. And I get 77. I'm not sure what I'm trying to do. That's their average. Rolls, but their average threshold of the group is what now? 120, 56. Okay, can you have a tie like this, like 2 successes, 2 failures, but their overall average of rolls is below than their average skill threshold, so it identifies as a team success despite an individual tie. I'm also not sure what I'm talking about. I feel like you can roll that. For that you have to simply have like their average threshold is no, their overall threshold is 225, and you just need to collective rolls to be a sum that is 220, and then you get the average and it is 55. But how do you make it into a tie? 51, 122, and say 30, 152, say. Yeah, it's doable. Okay, this works. In my opinion, it works. Yeah. Don't need these examples right now here. Boom. All right. I feel this brainstorm is good enough for now, for the first day, for today. I think I will be continuing this. Maybe not. I'll see how it goes. But it's going to be no sooner than next Wednesday, Thursday, I think. I would go for Wednesday, but maybe it's going to be Thursday again. Next stream is going to be tomorrow if everything is alright, and Saturday too, but that will be just gaming. I will be trying a game that I got for free a while ago, and yeah, hopefully that will be exciting. As of now, I can't I would probably be able to go in longer, but I feel like it's enough of brain work dedicated to this and time as well. So now I will be going offline. Thank you anybody who watched. I see you tomorrow for a gaming session.